handle all types of things like you're thinking of. We will handle your insurances, whether that's your life insurance or health insurance. We have PNC agents. We will handle, rollovers, different things when you're leaving a business. Today, we're actually going to be talking a little later about secure retirement planning and personal pension planning, tax-free retirement systems. So each one of these programs, we actually talk about a single topic each week. So today, again, is the tax-free retirement system that we're going to talk about. The VETS program, Veterans Entrepreneurship Training System, is a program that we've put together that helps veterans transition out of the military. I'm a Navy veteran myself. I was in during the first Gulf War back in the 90s. So it's been a while since I've been out. But I do remember that transition out, not really knowing what you want to do, not really knowing what you can do. I was a 50 caliber machine gunner, so coming out, there's not a whole lot of need for 50 caliber machine gunners in civilian life. So I pretty much was recruited a lot by the police departments and gun shops. That's about it. So I went back to school, got my business degree, and also a degree in IT. Went into computers for a little while, and then got into personal finance and retirement systems. And I've been doing that now for over 17 years. So we help educate. We help show you there are ways for you to go into the workforce pretty much, right off of the bat. That's the nice thing about the YES program. We can teach you about finance. We can teach you about insurances. We can teach you about financial planning. The good thing about you being a veteran is you bring to the table one thing that we can't teach a lot of people, and that is a good work ethic. That's why veterans tend to do very well here. You come in with a good work ethic, and that's really what it takes. Anybody can learn all the different topics and subjects that you need to, and we do that as on-the-job training in this program. But it's that work ethic that you bring that will really set you apart. So glad to talk to anybody that wants to talk about how that system works.
Awesome. Beautiful. Yeah. So as Don said, it's a lot of people can transition into this business knowing nothing about it. I mean, myself, I was a printer at an envelope factory for 19 years before I came into this business. Had no college background at all. So we have the systems in place to train people and teach them everything they need to know. So it's pretty awesome. So today we're going to start out with a short little video kind of describing what we're going to talk about today. Scott, could you key that up, please?
When it comes to retirement planning, there are three kinds of people. The guy who doesn't think about or plan for retirement, you don't want to be that guy. The gambler type who feels the only way to grow her money is to risk losing it all in the stock market, and the play it safe type who shudders at the thought of losing a single penny of his savings, even if it means sacrificing any opportunity for that money to grow. For years, retirement planning has been vastly limited to choices that fall on one side of the scale or the other. And so, money-savvy people tend to invest in 2, 3, 14, 50 different products in an attempt to balance the scale. But what if there was a way to capture the upside potential of a risky product and the downside protection of a secure product all in one solution? Well, hold on to your potatoes. Let's talk about IUL. Indexed Universal Life can harness the best parts of both sides of the financial seesaw. IUL is a form of permanent life insurance that, whoa, hang on. Life insurance has changed in the last 20 years. You know it as something that just pays out when you die. But these days, life insurance can actually be one of the most powerful wealth accumulating vehicles on the market. One huge benefit of IUL is the ability to harness the power of compound interest to potentially generate large amounts of non-taxable cash value within the policy. This cash value can be accessed later in life to fund a happy, healthy, non-taxable retirement. Your IUL's performance directly reflects the performance of the stock market index while implementing a 0% floor and a market cap, usually around 10%. So your cash value participates in the growth of the market up to the cap and sits safely on the sidelines when the market goes down, You forego some of the upside to alleviate all of the downside. So, zero is your hero. With IUL, you won't spend a single day of your accrual making up for losses. Pretty cool, right? Well, it gets better. When designed properly, IUL can serve as a retirement vehicle based on a financial chassis of life insurance protection. And because of IRS tax code exemptions for life insurance, your cash value can create a tax-advantaged way to generate more income in retirement. That's something your 401k or IRA simply can't offer. So what might an IUL look like for you? Let's talk specifics. Larry here is in decent health, a non-smoker, and contributes $500 a month to his IUL starting at age 35. This contribution is conservatively projected to generate $500,000 of cash value by the time Larry retires at age 65. If he chooses to, Larry can turn on a non-taxable income stream from his IUL, giving him $60,000 of income per year to supplement his retirement. And the longer he waits to access this money, the larger it can grow. That death benefit is even accessible when Larry's still living if he suffers a critical, chronic, or terminal illness. So if Larry gets sick, he's covered. If he dies unexpectedly, his family is covered. And if neither of those things happen, the money Larry's paid into his IUL over the years can fund a happy, healthy, tax-advantaged retirement. Assuming Larry lives to age 90, he will have contributed a total of $186,000 into his IUL, drawn out $1.5 million in non-taxable retirement income, and still leave behind a very sizable tax-free death benefit for his heirs. The person who shared this video with you can show you what an IUL might look like for you given your specific age, health, contribution level, and retirement plans. Contact them today to get the specific numbers and see if IUL is a fit for you.
That's a great video. Really tells you a lot about how it works. Don and I have both been in the business for quite a while, 25 years for myself and 17 for Don. We know that there's no one size fits all for anything in financial services. So Don, what kind of a person would need an IUL?
Okay, yeah, IUL, once we sit down with someone and do a financial analysis with them, kind of see their goals, what they're trying to accomplish, and make sure it's a good fit. Depending on what we're trying to do for them, there's lots of different ways. So that's kind of a loaded question about who exactly is it good for. There's about 20 different things we can do with an IUL. So there's all different types of ways to build it. There's different types of ways that it's going to pay out. We can use it for a lot of things. We use them for pension planning. We use them for business succession planning. We use them for college planning. There's lots of ways that you can use that IUL. So it really depends on the client themselves on how it's going to be set up if they need one. And when I say that, so who is it good for? Pretty much anybody 15 days old up to about 55 years old typically. Now, there are a few exceptions to that rule. Over 55, but typically if you're looking at on the retirement side, you do want at least 10 years left to work and put money into these things before you ever start touching them. And when I say, people 15 days old, these can definitely be used for what we call Head Start plans. You can start putting a small amount of money into these when your child is born. And that way that you will have money available to borrow out of the policy for college. Depending on how well you fund your policy, you may have money for college, marriage, down payment on your first house, purchase of a first car, and retirement in the end. So there's ways to do planning that way. But for most people, just like you just heard in that example, people in their late 20s, 30s, 40s are using IULs to go ahead and set up a personal pension for themselves. So they'll start putting money in. They'll have that immediate coverage for their family while they're building their retirement plan, just like they would with a 401k or anything else, but they would need that life insurance added to that to make it work properly. With this, you have all that bundled together. And then they would retire on it. And again, it all depends on the funding. It's not something for everyone because you do need to overfund these to make them work properly. So we sit down with the client and have that conversation. And if it makes sense for them and they can afford to put the money away, then it's definitely a good thing to have. When you're sitting down with a client as a financial advisor, it's always a good idea. And here at Synergy, we make sure people have what are called secure retirement plans in place. These are plans that never take losses. And it's the way we look at it is whatever your age is, that's the percentage of your money at a minimum that should be in secure retirement plans. So we call those your nest egg plans, the money that you know will be there when you get to retirement. Other monies above and beyond. So let's say you're 50 years old, 50% of your money at a minimum should be in some sort of secure plan that can't take losses. Other money, you could have more than that in there if you wanted to, but then other monies could be in things that you may take losses, like your 401ks, your IRAs, your Roths, real estate investing, business investing. There's lots of things you can use your money for, but you do want to have that nest egg set up. So again, that's why we like to use IUL. I'll give you 8 big reasons why a lot of people look at IUL for retirement, and those would be the safety of no negative returns, the possibility of high positive returns. The carrier absorbs all the risk. Okay, so you can't take any negative numbers. If the market's going up, you'll be credited for the uptick of the market up to a point, and anytime the markets go negative, you do not play in that sandbox. The ability to create a tax-free income stream during retirement. Again, that's a big, big deal. Death benefit self-completes at the event of death because that IUL is actually protected by a death benefit. It's built on a life chassis. Ability to take advantage of tax laws associated with insurance. Again, that's why a lot of our wealthy clients will use these to fund their trusts and things like that because they give tremendous tax benefits. Guaranteed return of premium and insurance for a lifetime without paying for a lifetime. You typically will pay into these, you will overfund them, and then once it's time to retire, you'll stop making payments, start pulling money out of your policy as your pension payments, and you'll keep that life insurance for the rest of your life. So again, lots of good reasons to use an IUL, but we have to first sit down and do that analysis to make sure you are a good fit and really look at what you're trying to accomplish to see if the IUL is for you.
That's absolutely true. I mean, we we call it a blueprint, a financial blueprint that we take people through to find out, of course, what their needs may be, and then, of course, talking to them, finding out what their goals are. That's how we can kind of guide us in the direction of which way we can help them. The IUL is a great vehicle, and that's what it is. And as Don said, it can do many things. I mean, we can make it perform for you how you need it to perform. Some people may be using it. There's a strategy called Be Your Own Bank. Some people may use it for that. Then also some people just want a permanent policy, something that's not going to go away like a term policy. So there's many different ways that it can work for different people, and it just depends on your needs, your wants, your goals, and of course we find out if you can do that. So with that being said, just a couple questions I'd like to ask that I've heard a lot of times out in the field is, what's the catch? Is there something that would keep somebody from being able to use an IUL if they wanted to, and if it was suitable in most ways?
Yeah, it may keep you from getting one. Since the IUL is built on a life chassis, you have to qualify both medically and financially. And when I say qualify medically, you don't have to be in perfect health, but you can't be in very bad health. I mean, if you are already dealing with heart attack, stroke, cancer, stuff like that, then you wouldn't be, able to qualify for the insurance piece of the IUL. So we wouldn't be able to put it in place. But again, we have secure retirement plans that have no insurance on them at all that are still guaranteed. So you could still take advantage of that if you needed to. We don't have to use the IUL. So there's ways to help those clients as well. So basically, it's just limitations would be being able financially to afford the payment. So if you have that in your discretionary income, we definitely want to do that. Another thing would be sometimes what people do is we do what's called refinance your finances. So you're in perfect health. You want the ability to secure some of your retirement, but you don't have a whole lot of extra money. But we look at what you're doing in other things. Maybe we save you money in your health insurance now that can go over to that. Maybe you're completely overfunding your 401k, and there's better ways to make that money work for you. Maybe you put in up to the match on your 401k, so you're taking full advantage of the match. But then you take some of that overfunding you're doing, get paid that money so that you can then put that into your personal pension, the IUL, and let it grow to a tax-free retirement on them both. That's what we talk about in having, if you're 40 years old, having 40% going into your IUL and maybe 60% going to your 401k. However, we need to set that up to make it work, but we definitely want you to get that free match on that 401k. So again, it all starts with that, with sitting down with that client, going over the different education pieces, making sure they understand how IULs work, and then, making sure that it fits for them. It is something that they need in their plan, in their overall financial plan.
Absolutely right. And of course, we would have to have a conversation, so you've got our emails on the screen here. So please contact us if you would like to have those conversations. We're kind of toward the end of our time here, so I'd like to share another testimonial with you. This particular one, the people who are involved originally started this plan as a retirement plan. They were business owners. So, but the other things that can work for you with the plan came into play. So Scott, could you start that video, please?
Benefit story. I was born in Boston, but I was raised in Brazil. I'm living in Florida for the last 6 years with my family. I have 2 kids now, my husband and a 1-year-old and a 7 years old. We have a company, me and my husband. We do countertops. We are self-employed for the last 4 years. Being a mom and a businesswoman, I have a lot to do, so my days are very busy. Dropping kids out in school, picking up, going to work, taking them to sports, coming back and doing something for myself, cooking dinner. Brazilians, we cook a lot every day, so imagine it's a really busy life, but I love it a lot.
My name is Rickson Amorin. I'm an executive vice president with 5 Rings Financial here in Boca Raton, Florida. I met Marcondi, Natalia's husband, in a workshop. And then he mentioned, my wife is actually looking for a retirement plan and also life insurance.
And he was talking about a product that has the possibility of investment plus a life insurance with living benefits.
So we set up the plan for the whole family.
I was on vacation in Brazil, and I started feeling some back pains that was not going away. When I come back to the United States, I went to my primary doctor. After about a month or so doing tests, I got the results. I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, stage 2.
A 30 years old will never think that you will get cancer, especially because she had a 10 months old baby. So it was tough.
But the only thing that I could think of the first few days was, I want to see this baby girl getting married. I want to see this boy going to college and things like that. So I will fight. Dealing with cancer and raising a baby, having a 7 years old who requires a lot of my attention and time, I start to feel the financial pressure. Of course, the bills were coming. We still have to pay our employees. We still have a company to run.
Obviously, I was concerned for her health at that time. But the type of cancer that she got, I knew that the cancer was going to be a survival cancer. And for sure, she was going to be okay financially because of the living benefits. A couple weeks later, we've got the notice that the living benefit was approved. Her policy was a $500,000 policy, and she was able to withdraw over $280,000.
It was a relief for our family to have that money at that time. Not only because of the medical bills, but it changed our financial life forever.
When we've got the approval letter, and a couple days later, the money was in her bank account, it was an amazing feeling. I think that money brought hope to that family. And that's very, very important. It's worth more than money. You know what I mean? So because the cancer it's gonna go away now, but the money it's gonna stay.
The cancer, it's gone. Really soon, this is a page that I'm turning in my life. I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm just gonna see ahead of me. The living benefits, it pretty much took away all my worry financially. The relief was so big because we could pay the medical bills, all our own personal bills that were late due to all this.
She's not just a client. She became a really good friend, and we spent birthdays together, we barbecue together, our kids play together, and they're gonna still doing that thanks to living benefits. Because if it wasn't living benefit, I don't know what we will be today.
I talk with all my friends and family about living benefits because of its value and because of what I've had gone through, how important it was during my process. I was young, I was healthy. I had no reason to have a living benefit, and still, I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that I purchased the plan because it was such a relief in the middle of so many things going on, so many bad news, and it was a bright thing to look forward in my future.
A lot of times in life, we plan for one thing, but something else happens.
Yeah, just another example, a great story. We have hundreds of these testimonials from different clients, whether it's tax-free retirement, living benefits, secure retirement planning, the death benefit itself. Heaven forbid something happens, but at least it's there for the family. So lots of good things that we do, and we pride ourselves in that. And again, this VETS system, veteran entrepreneurship training system, gives vets a way to give back to their community. If you want to have a career, giving to your community, helping your community, there's no better way than to be able to put those foundations, those financial foundations in place for young families, for older families transitioning into the retirement years, for the youngest members of families, that we can put a Head Start plan in place for and make sure that their major financial decisions are taken care of for the rest of their life. So lots and lots of things you can do in this program, and we're happy to sit down with you and make sure that you understand how it can work for you. So if you're looking for something, definitely reach out, send us an email. We'd be more than happy to help.
Yep, that's awesome. Just reach out to one of us. We'll definitely get back to you quickly and want to help you build something. And in the meantime, also we have these Wealth 101s we do probably every other week or so. And if you email us, we'll contact you, give you that information so you can see that too. And we'll kind of go from there. Anything else, Don?
No, that's all I have for this week. I think next week, Rick, for anybody out there that's looking forward to next week, we are going to be talking about secure retirement planning. You already have retirement out there, but it's going up and down in the market and you're really worried about it. How can you secure that? How can you make those downs stop so you're not sitting here every day worried to death about losing all the money you've saved throughout your life? So that'll be next week's topic. And of course, as always, we'll go over the VETS system and how that can work for you. I hope everybody has a great weekend.
All right, beautiful, Don. See you, buddy.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.